Welcome to the channel. We do have some severe weather moving in tonight, going in the next couple days. Um, we do have some severe weather taking shape right now. This is the current uh, base reflectivity. Darker reds are where a lot of the heavier rains are going to be, and they move through areas. They like to move east. So, um, these storms come through, and they usually will work their way from west to east or southeast or northeast. Northeast storms are the storms that we do have to watch, usually particularly from this particular area here. Any storms that move northeast are really the most dangerous storms. But we do have a couple areas tonight and going into tomorrow night that we definitely need to watch. Um, Now, I'll talk with the air. I'll go with the areas right now that are really. I mean, we're going to see some more. We might see some. We might see a brief tornado, a couple tornadoes tonight. Um, you know, so let's go with this particular storm. Um, let's talk about this one that's moving in. This particular storm is bringing in 100-mile-an-hour winds tonight. Um, and the area that we're going to watch is this particular bubble here. It's a ring, and this ring will bring 100-mile-an-hour winds right here on the south west corner of Nebraska, where Denver and Wyoming sits. This particular area here is an area where this jet stream is getting pushed, so there's going to be a lot of wind blowing in this particular area. Rotation. It'll be a 100-mile-an-hour rotation in this area. Okay, and then that is an area we will have to watch. And that particular event should happen. Let's take a look. Let me tell you exactly what time we're thinking. So, oh, around 7 o'clock Eastern time, my time tonight, this particular area is going to have a lot of rotation, 100-mile-an-hour rotation in that area. I do see some supercell activity around that area. Um, Now, we could see a brief tornado. Um, the only thing that I worry about is the dew point in this particular area is not where it needs to be, where tornadoes are in favor in this particular area, because you got to really look at the dew point. But so we do have over here on the East Coast in areas in Florida that we will need to watch as well. It was a hurricane, was downgraded to a tropical storm, so it's now carrying about 60-mile-an-hour winds. We are going to see, anywhere between 4 to 7 feet of water just around the port areas, going up to say Myrtle Beach, going into tonight and tomorrow. This tropical storm should die out. We're by the Hurricane Center did say, by Saturday, this storm should die out. Now we do have pockets of 70-mile-an-hour winds in areas up here, because a lot of these storms are moving in from Canada, and it's catching with the jet stream. And once it comes down, that's when a lot of these storms start to develop. And we do have a lot of storms that are going to be moving in over the weekend. Next week will be a very busy week with storms moving in, particularly in areas where it's favored for, environmentally favored for tornadoes. So today, tomorrow, we're watching the beach. We've already got like 10 to 15, I think 10 to 15, anywhere between that area of tornadoes already reported. We already have 2 tornadoes today down in South Carolina. Um, the Georgia, South Carolina areas. We do have already reported some tornadoes, um, bringing some trees and all kinds of stuff down. But I will tell you that these areas are going to now tonight. We're not really expecting very much. Um, tonight I think if we do see some tornadoes, it's going to be down here in the southeast side of the corner, just because we're still seeing 60-mile-an-hour winds blowing through. I've seen a couple pockets down here in Florida, 100-mile-an-hour winds. So, all right, well, I'm going to take you into tomorrow. Tomorrow's forecast. So Thursday, August 8th, areas that we're focused on. We'll go over here to the East Coast. Go here to the East. Go to the Mid-Atlantic. Actually, I'll just go southeast. Go southeast. So Debbie is still going to produce 100-mile-an-hour winds here in this area. And Debbie's still going to bring a lot of, massive amounts of rainfall through, flash flooding, and a lot of these areas are the main concern, particularly with what Debbie has done. So tomorrow night, we may still, high chances of tornadoes in this particular area. Usually when I see 100-mile-an-hour winds, there's still a lot of, to me, I believe that when I see 100-mile-an-hour winds, if we can see our chances of increasing tornadoes for the day. So that's a particular area that we're watching. So let me just kind of rewind. So tonight, Wednesday, August 7th, tonight, areas corner here of Nebraska, 100-mile-an-hour winds. We can still see tornadoes develop in 70, 60-mile-an-hour winds, 50, 60, 70-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, if it is, it'll be an EF0 or EF1. EF1 can carry up to 100 miles an hour, a little over 100 miles an hour. So, those can be still destructive. So don't ever, just think, oh, it's a 100-mile-an-hour wind tornado coming through. It's still not going to do any damage. It definitely can do a lot of damage, depending on how your house was built. If your house was built with integrity and, if it's older, you have a better chance. If it's newer, you have a least likely chance that your house will make it through a 100-mile-an-hour tornado. So, most of the times they slap these houses up nowadays. So if your house is new, don't expect very much that your house will hold up. But 100-mile-an-hour winds could still do a lot of damage to your house. And so particularly North Carolina, Virginia, going all the way up until midday Friday. So and potentially up here on the north side here, maybe in New York, we may see some areas. Yeah, East Coast, a couple pockets here, and we're going to have some storms moving through this particular area this weekend. Going into next week, We will see a lot more thunderstorms move through, and potentially down here. We see some activity as well. So let me show you some things here. So here's our supercell areas that we're watching tonight. Watching this over here, kind of areas that I've already mentioned. We may see some tornadoes here. Now, it's very light, you know. Once this starts to get orange, we get concerned a little bit, but just because there's a little bit more stronger supercells moving in. But we will still see some supercells tonight move in. So let's take a look at Thursday. So yeah, we do have these areas right here on the East Coast still. Florida, North Carolina, we still have these areas here. A little bit down here in Arizona, Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, just a little bit of areas here. And then over here on the East Coast, we have some supercells that are going to be active. Now, Friday and going into this weekend, we do see some activity spark up Sunday, particularly in Texas here, Oklahoma. We do see some areas that, will ramp up, and that's what I was talking about. Orange, we'll have some stronger supercells moving through. And these ones usually that go northeast are the ones that we have to watch. But this kind of gives you just an overview of the next couple days. It's not going to be super active by any means, but if we do see tornadoes, they're going to be in the areas that I'm showing you. You don't have to take my word for it, but I look at all the graphs. I tell you exactly where these areas are going to be that we have to watch. But this is just to show you that the next couple days. I mean, the temperatures did today decrease, so we should see these storms start ramping up over the weekend, going into next week. Um, we do get more active storms moving through next week. Another pockets there, and then this moves up to Minnesota. So there are areas we're going to be watching next week. Just right now, it's died down just a little bit, just because of temperatures just dropping. Uh, you know, all over, especially over here in the Midwest. In some areas out here, it did drop in temperatures. So we should be seeing next week severe weather moving through. I don't see anything crazy. I think if those areas get hit tonight, those are the areas I believe will happen. Now, if you're new, make sure to subscribe, like the video, helps my channel out, and comment down below if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them as best as I possibly can. And if this was helpful, great. If not, every day, I'll post videos of where these storms will be moving through. At least give you an idea of where I believe these storms or tornadoes, severe weather is going to take shape. And the main real concern tonight is going to be wind blowing through, the mid section of the United States, right here in Wyoming, Idaho, Colorado, that particular area, in Nebraska. We're going to see a lot of wind blowing, particularly just because we have some storms that are moving down and up, and we have some jet streams moving across. So, um, you know, these are the areas that we're focused in on this coming weekend and going into next week. We do have some more severe storms that'll take shape. So we'll keep an eye out on those storms particularly, and we'll go from there. But anyways, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you made it this far, you know, you want to know where all the severe weather is going to take place, I'm going to let you know. Thanks.